our world, a man's desires can be made flesh. The stronger the desire, the truer this is. It's a rather simple concept. I'm sure you understand, old friend.
Of course. But still.
Yeah, flowers wilt and die. Alas, no being yet exists who can enforce his will upon the world for all eternity.
That would require a true miracle of God. What could be a more extraordinary circumstance than to allow a person's will to blanket the universe and then shape it as they alone see fit? Extraordinary, but not impossible, yeah.
Indeed. It can be achieved through the magic that I shared with you, structured among 4 different levels of mastery.
Activity, formation, creation, emanation.
Think of them as following the miracles of God in reverse order. That is to say, the higher the level, the closer you are to the very root of God. Creation seems liberating, but there are still limits to how you can maintain what you create.
If one reaches emanation, those fall away. God declared, "Let there be light," and thus all things began to flow from him. The laws that govern this world of ours all came to be in such a manner, did they not?
Primary among them is one which I call eternal recurrence, an existence where everything repeats in an unending cycle.
And that explains our sense of déjà vu, a constant remembrance of the many versions of ourselves that came before. I can assume the only way to finally be rid of it is to remove God from his throne.
That is correct. And that is your true purpose in this life, why it is paramount you reach the emanation level. This is the same way in which the current god of our world took his place. He destroyed his predecessor and claimed divine sovereignty.
So you believe that even God himself can be replaced? That he too falls victim to the cycle?
You're correct once again. The show is over and it's time to leave the stage. When you say it aloud, it sounds quite simple. The natural order of things. My friend, I don't consider myself to have lied back then. I wholeheartedly believe that you can kill me, and that is exactly what I want to happen. However, the ultimate conclusion for which I long is to relinquish the throne to another, one who is truly worthy. Yeah, for now at least. Let's go. So, Rhea is the nun's great-granddaughter?
Yeah, although Theresia herself is unaware of this fact. Riza was in the Lebensborn, a farm of sorts that viewed its goal as rather noble. They were attempting to bring humanity to what they deem the next level of evolution. It's what's more commonly known as eugenics. Riza's ambition was to create a new race, one that possessed superhuman powers. Unfortunately for all those involved, the program was a failure. The children couldn't handle their newfound abilities and broke down like overheated machines. So many poor innocent souls lost in those experiments. And so much blood staining Riza's hands.
Well, that explains something.
Yeah, her wish was to bring those children back to life. At that point, her research delved further into madness. Isaac was a result of such efforts. He was Riza's child and Theresia's grandfather. Also a component of the swastika, a city-sized relic. His function was to activate it and strengthen Lord Heidrich's world. A human sacrifice, to put it plainly. Riese was so desperate to save those little lambs she'd led to slaughter. She was even willing to offer up her own son.
But if it's actually true that Isaac was consumed by Reinhardt way back then, I don't understand how Rhea was even born.
The only part of Isaac's that merged with Heidrich was his soul. His body remained. You can imagine how it was accomplished.
Eugenics.
Yeah. I'm sure you've heard this by now, but the Berlin swastika wasn't quite enough. Thus the process must be repeated once more. What's needed now is a second Isaac, so to speak. And that's...
It's Rhea, isn't it? But Riese told me to save her too. It was one of the very last things she said, as far as I know. I guess, despite her past, she came up with her own answer in the end.
You can agree that a woman's mind is a terribly complicated thing, yeah? Ultimately, quelling that internal discord was Riese's highest priority in her final moments. We came extremely close to killing each other back at the hospital, but I feel she was the one who tasted victory. However, we can share in that triumph. See it through to the end. Indeed, that is what she tasked you with. I'm sure you understand the reality, that the most effective way to seal Lord Heidrich is to kill Teresia, remove the sacrificial offering. With that being said, how will you proceed?
Well, I'm surprised that you even have to ask that question of me, Father. And you?
I'm of the same mind, of course. I must protect Teresia.
So does that mean you'll give up your wish? I'm a little surprised that you don't have somebody you're trying to bring back too. Because between saving Rhea's life and seeing your wish come true, you're gonna have to make the choice of one or the other.
There's never just one way, Fuji. Even in this conundrum. The ritual to be performed is one known as the Golden Alchemy. And there are several crucial components to it. Obviously, at its very core is Teresia. But we can destroy some of the others. If that happens, the gold will be incomplete, meaning she won't have to die. My wish can only come true because the miracle is incomplete. Listen to this. All your dead loved ones will return. Everyone will live happily ever after. Do you believe that Reinhard Heydrich, of all people, would truly give us such a world? Everyone is being naive. In their greed for the gold, they sign their names to the devil's contract. But the love of destruction only leads one down the path towards more war.
Oh man, I'm running so late! Out of my way!
Kinda rude, don't you think? What's with the big rush, anyhow?
Because you've been in here for like forever. I'm surprised they haven't fired you yet.
Yeah, maybe I'm not the most punctual employee, but I'm doing the best I can for our family.
Yeah. Well, you better be careful not to mess things up. You think Beatrice wants to be with some jobless bum? See ya! I know. This is all just a dream. This stupid dream that only fools me into believing a normal life is somehow still possible. That's why I had to put my faith in a miracle. Because it's that important to me. The warmth I felt, the love they shared meant everything. So I can't waver. No matter what obstacles I may face. Who I fight, who I have to kill, no matter what I may risk. I know that I have to remain strong, unwavering, resolute. I have to believe in it. I was dreaming. It was so mundane, but so beautiful. Just everyday life. So outside how things really are for us. We were a happy family, like we should be.
You know? It feels kind of like I've been playing the role of bad guy here, and that's totally not my style.
I'll spare you the excruciating details. Just knows that 5 elements are necessary for the golden alchemy to be successful. The first is Teresia, and the second after that would be Lord Heidrich's relic itself. We have decided against removing the former, and the latter cannot be destroyed.
Well, then what about the other 3?
You saw the battalion leaders of the Black Round Table, did you not? Just defeat a single one of them, which is a Herculean task in and of itself. Thus we need an alliance. I propose that we try to bring Leonhardt over to our side. There seems to be some room to negotiate with her.
Hey, how's it hanging, old buddy?
You're here?
It seems as though he took over Malleus from the inside. I distinctly remember saying that the both of you were oddities. Anyway, I can only imagine you've come because you're looking for a fight. Very well, I suppose I can indulge you. I'm sure you know, but this is a golden opportunity for you.
I don't know if I can take much of this. And why do you look like you're enjoying yourself?
I'm sorry, but I miss the conversations of children.
Father!
This is gonna get even weirder, isn't it?
Now, Leonhardt, I think that you may be misreading the situation we have here. Fuji and I would like...
Was that a thunderbolt?
Oh dear, you got me.
No way!
You gotta be kidding! How tough is this dude?
He's merely following the orders Risa gave before she left her earthly plane. I did tell you about her spat. We were at the brink of killing one another when our paths crossed that final time. Give up! The Grail cannot be destroyed, so save your energy. Although I doubt you have any mind remaining to comprehend it. Fuji, I'd like for you to help me if it's at all possible. That's within the bounds of our current relationship, yeah?
Well...
Can you please convince this fellow to stop?
I mean, I knew it, but seeing it in person like this is still pretty freaky. Father Goldilocks really is the Grail, isn't he?
Say what?
What's her name over there kinda just mentioned it, but I stole a lot of stuff from that little Nazi vampire chick. Most of it was in the form of information, so I've actually got a pretty good idea of what in the hell's going on. If you ask me, teaming up with that guy would be an epically dumbass thing to do even for you. There's a reason he can take all this.
I don't get it. Why won't you just die already? I don't understand why you're doing this! Tell me what you want! Brother!
Seriously? Come now. You don't know this. Ask yourself this question, and I'm certain you'll find the answer. Do you truly wish to join Lord Heidrich in Valhalla, and be counted among his most trusted Einherjar?
I'm just... not sure.
Now then, Mr. Fuji. It seems it will prove difficult for us to cooperate officially. But our task remains unchanged. In order to save our dear Teresia, we must defeat the 3 battalion leaders as we had previously discussed. We'll do it tomorrow evening. It's a church. I expect you to give it your all.
Hold on! You think that you can just walk away?
Before you arrive, you must learn about the emanation level, which is above the creation level. It's not all that difficult. Just let it flow, as the word implies.
Whoa, Ren! Hey! Ren, you okay?
This world is ruled by laws. Chief among them is the law of eternal recurrence. I created this universe according to my laws, but I can no longer stop of my own will. Therefore, I have waited a countless number of times for the birth of the one who would take my place, for someone who's worthy to sit upon this sacred throne. Marguerite, after all this time, I am certain that I created this eternal recurrence for one purpose, and that was so I could meet you, living under this stifling law, where everything repeats itself and nothing is unknown. Meeting you was the one repeated act that truly brought joy to my weary soul time and time again. That being said, I can no longer reign in my strongest desire, the longing for self-destruction that burns within me. But I ask that you let your nature as a goddess flow throughout the universe. Its emptiness exists solely so you can fill it. I have made the necessary preparations. All that's left is for you to grant my wish. My sweet beloved flower. Something wrong?
Oui, there seems to be quite a lot that's wrong. But for me, I fear that I'm too strange. It never troubled me this much before, but meeting you changed me somehow. I've begun to think more about myself and all the people I've encountered throughout my life. Now I see. I understand what Cagliostro told me before. This world we live in is constantly repeating itself over and over again with no sign of stopping. Instead of death being the end, I'll simply return to my mother's belly, to be born and live the exact same life as I did before. But if that's true, I don't belong as I am. Ghosts cannot exist in this world. So I feel out of place and crazy. What am I?
There are two big parts of my life I can't talk about. The first is all these memories that I can't explain. I guess they're from my previous life. I remember a me who's different from who I am now. Someone who lived and died in a different time. It gets pretty hazy at the end. But I know it's more than just a dream. And if it's real, then I'm just as crazy as you are. I'm breaking the rules of this world the same way.
You're different, Ren. It's true you may be a bit crazy, but there's nothing wrong with who you are. There's something about your soul that's beautiful. Spending time with you makes me so happy. I'd stay with you for eternity if I could. But I'm afraid that if I were to stay, it would be bad for you. I'd get in your way.
The second secret I carry with me. It's bad. When I was a little boy, I saw somebody get killed right before my very eyes, and that image has haunted me ever since that day. I can never say anything about it, because if I were to let it out, it would hurt Kasumi. It makes me feel like such a damn coward. To be perfectly frank, even though they weren't a good person, sometimes I wish they'd come back so I wouldn't have to keep lying. But I know that's not right either. I suppose what I'm really trying to say is that I can't run from ghosts or things that can carry the weight of the past anymore. And I'm glad that I have you right here by my side. Meeting you's changed my life. It's a wonderful thing.
So the fact that I'm not a normal girl actually makes you happy? You're saying you like that about me? You are strange. I can't deny that about you. But still, in my heart I feel as though I'm nothing more than a burden. Because of me, you've been in too many dangerous and scary situations. I know all of it caused you so much pain and suffering. I'd be crying if I were you. But through all of this, you've never complained. Tell me why. Why are you always so sweet and kind to me?
A fair question. And normally I would be complaining a little bit, at least.
surprised.
You think so?
Well, can I?
Of course. I want you to share all your feelings with me.
Thank you so much, Marie. There's something you've made me finally realize. As long as I can remember, I've always wondered how I could atone for my sins. You've given me the answer I was looking for. It's not for the dead to come back to life, or to repeat the same thing for the rest of time. There's a way to do it that's only possible because I met you, and protecting that is the real reason I was put on this earth in the first place.
There really is another way. I hope you're right.
Then I shall also be praying for that wish to come true, Goddess of Twilight. Eternal feminine that draws us on high.